Hey guys, Gabriel with Chrome Unbox, and today we're talking smartwatches. I'm a big watch guy. I love watches of all kinds, cheap, expensive, little, big, whatever. But I have never worn a smartwatch until now. And today we're going to take a closer look at the TicWatch Pro LTE. But first, this video is brought to you by NordVPN. They are the VPN of choice for millions to keep you safe while browsing at home or on the go. If you'd like to learn more, head over to chromeunbox.com/NordVPN. If you're in the market for a new smartwatch, you may already know more than I do. I went into this pretty much totally blind other than what I see in news from time to time. I know wearOS's limitations, I know its shortcomings, but I tried my best not to let this bias my review. So I just want to go at this from the perspective of a general consumer who says, hey, I want to buy my first smartwatch and I want to get a lot of bang for my buck. So the TicWatch Pro brings a lot to the table in that arena. It is the older Qualcomm chip, so it's the 2100. It does come with 1 gig of RAM, which from what I can tell makes a huge difference. I've not seen a lot of high praise for the newer Qualcomm chips, so I think the 1 gig of RAM kind of makes up the difference there. One of the things Mobvoi touts on this watch is the dual layer display. So the LCD that's on top is low power, but whatever voodoo they have going on here, it's super visible. So you have a blacked out display with black lettering with the time and your pedometer, but even in direct sunlight, it's visible and clear, and it's really impressive. And then once you swipe up to the regular display, depending on which watch face you have on, it's somewhat subdued, but still visible in pretty much any light. And that's impressive. That combined with the fact that it helps get a lot of extra battery life, they've done a really good job here, and I'm hoping other manufacturers would follow suit. I do get a full day's use out of it with about 40% battery life at the end of the day, which in my opinion is not bad. Again, I don't really have a baseline to go from here, but you're gonna get 2 full days use out of it if you're not using it a ton, you don't have all the features turned on. I do keep the tilt to wake on. I use the Google Assistant on it, but where it gets that extra battery life is the dual layer display. So you have a 400 by 400 AMOLED display on the watch, but then it has a low powered LCD on top of it. And then if you put it in essential mode, that's what you see all the time. And that's when they're saying you can get up to 5 days of battery life out of it. I get about 1 to 2 days of life out of it before it has to be charged. But I really didn't expect a whole lot more than that. It fits nicely. It does come with a silicone band, which I know a lot of people aren't a fan of, but I like it because it's all black. So you got black watch, black display, black band. You can get a hybrid band from TicWatch. I'm not a big fan of the way that it looks. It's kind of a mix between silicone and leather. It's 22 millimeters, so you could probably find some third-party ones that fit. But I just stuck with the black band because I think it looks good. It's comfortable. It's a little thicker than some of the wearOS watches on the market, but it doesn't feel really clunky when I'm wearing it. So the watch casing is mostly metal. You have a partially plastic bottom on the back, but it's pretty rugged. I'm pretty rough on watches. I tend to slap my arm against things, whatever, and I haven't seen nary a nick on it anywhere. So it's solid. You're not gonna have to worry about dropping it or bumping into anything. One thing they did omit, which they had on some of their older models, is they used to have a scrollable feature with the top button, I believe, and then one version they had actually had a scrollable feature here on the side. They've done away with that. It would be neat to have, especially for scrolling through notifications, but again, I've never used a smartwatch, so I don't miss something that I've never had. All right, so your features on the watch are relatively pure. You have the bottom button is customizable, so you can set it to be pretty much whichever app you want. Essential mode, you can set it to trigger different applications. The top one just brings up your list of apps that you have installed. Long pressing, it's going to trigger the Google Assistant, and then obviously holding it for 3 seconds or more is going to disable the device and turn it off. Mobvoi has their own software that runs over top of wearOS, syncs with your phone, and that's one of the things that I find a big advantage for me, is because I can set it up to where every hour it reminds me to get up and get my steps in. I do use the assistant with it, and this one does have the LTE 4G, which you have to set up through Verizon, but it makes it great, especially if you're out on the go, you're exercising, taking a run, you can just wear your watch, You can take calls, and that's another thing. This thing has a really great speaker for a tiny little watch. In a crowded room, it'd be a little difficult to make a phone call on it, but you can interact with the assistant, you can hear her answers, and you can make and receive phone calls on it just fine. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I've never used a wearOS watch or any real smartwatch. I've had a couple fitness trackers and things like that, but I never really got into them. But I've worn this for almost a month solid, and going into it, I really felt like it was going to be a distraction, and I'm not going to lie, I wasn't looking forward to doing this, but within about a week of having it, I realized something. It's been great keeping me off of my phone. Generally, when I get a notification on my watch, I'll swipe up to see what it is, and 9 times out of 10, I'm going to swipe it away. If it's something important, I'll go to my phone to check it out. I find that if I'm going to my phone and looking at my notifications, I tend to go down rabbit holes, and then I'll check Facebook, or I'll look at my email, or I'll look at what's going on with our website right now. And I don't do that nearly as much with the watch because it's so much easier just to look and swipe it away. And that's a big deal for me because I've found that I'm leaving my phone face down a lot more. It keeps me a lot less distracted. And I feel like for me personally, wearing this watch has been an improvement of just my workflow in general. Apart from that, there's a lot going on here. You get NFC, you get all of the features you'd really be looking for in a watch, GPS, heart rate monitor, all of those things. It has a low power sensor, so when you take it off, it automatically locks the device. But you're looking at about $300 retail, and at any given time, you can get it for about $250. I think right now it's on sale for about $239 in most places. And as a mid-range, I think if you're looking to get your first smartwatch that has almost all of the features and decent battery life, because let's be honest, after wearing this for a month and then reading some reviews of wearOS, you're just not going to get a week out of a wearOS watch. It's just not going to happen. So if you can get 2 full days out of a watch and it does everything that you want it to do, tap and pay, Google Assistant, on the go with LTE, it's a really good device. Yes, you can get things that are more beautiful, you can get things that look a lot nicer, but you can also spend $3,000 or $4,000. If you're looking for a good device that's going to last you a long time and do everything that you need to do, I think the TicWatch Pro LTE is a win, and I would recommend it to anyone. All right, guys, that's it for this one. If you like the video, go down, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell because we've got a lot more coming in 2020, and you're not going to want to miss it. Till next time.